we have a sound or not.
Do we have a sound?
We might be a people. We might have a sound. Oh my god, why is this one so huge every time you send it to me? Every time you send me this one compared to the other ones. Yeah, there is sound and we are live. Alright, yes, alright, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright.
I can see how you were stuffing up.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's fun to watch. This is fun to watch, yes.
Here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Karl.
And I'm Sunny.
A.K.A.
Henry and Sangeeta, and we have... Nero.
Oh. What? I didn't expect that.
Oh, well, we always have to introduce whoever's on.
Oh, yeah, we do. It's necessary.
It's a Pilates.
It's Pilates.
It's a Pilates. Alright. And we are starting with Thomas, as per usual. I wanted to do this for some time.
Are we starting with Thomas?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure starting with Thomas.
Okay, how...
But this is where the last review stream covers here.
Where am I?
I don't know.
Who am I?
Australia.
Why is this happening? Why am I so far behind?
I don't know. It's probably because it got refreshed.
It probably did get refreshed somewhere along the way. So I'm just gonna roll back.
You're technically in the future relative to me. It's really impressive that you are far behind.
No.
1 a.m.
All right,
jokes.
you want to read out, and I will.
I will. Okay. I wanted to do this for some time.
I'm
Maybe...
not a king, but I'm proud of it.
Yes. I wanted to do this for some time. Maybe some of you will find this useful. This is my method for hazard stripes. 1. I always use 3 colors, light orange, intense yellow, and black. In this case, they're AK 3rd Gen Light Rust, Volcanic Yellow, and Rubber Black. I find a bit lighter color works better than typical deep black. 2 and 3, I start with orange and I'll highlight with yellow.
Yep.
4, 5, and 6, to blend them together, I mix roughly 1:1 yellow and orange and paint a stripe along the edges of both colors, half of the stripe on each. That will be enough for blending. The rest of the work will be done by contrast between yellow and black. That's my favorite tricks to make blending appear smoother. And some contrasting colors in close proximity, example by edge highlight. 7 sunglasses, and 9, because 7, 8, 9, I guess. There is no need to be very precise with black stripes. All shaky lines
I know
will be
what it
masked
is,
by chipping.
because when you write 8 and the bracket next to it,
yeah,
that's the stuff to say, hey, I want you to make the cool guy smiley face.
Oh, is that what it is?
So he was just trying to type normally, and that's why it's like...
That's funny, that's cute. Alright, never mind. Anyway, all shaking lines will be masked by chipping. 10, 11, and 12. Chipping is mostly done with small piece of sponge and refined with brush. The trick for good looking chipping is to make most of the dots on the edges of black lines and adding some scratches with black. Yeah,
no, I think this looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm really glad that he did a guide. I want to do this myself, and maybe even make a short out of it, because I think this is just such a great method of doing it, and I think it might be very useful to people just to learn how to do this one thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I also appreciate it because we used to try and encourage
do things like this,
the whip or like that.
But it is also very intense to take pictures at every single stage.
Yeah.
So it's that's one of the things that makes this process most difficult. Nothing else, just taking a picture at every single stage.
Yeah.
So I want to commend Tomas and say thank you very much for sharing it with us.
He even went through the trouble of drawing lines over to show direction.
Yeah.
To be as clear as possible. This takes a long time. I've done it before for the terrain project that we used to do.
Oh yes, you did.
And it takes a long time to prepare the graphics, prepare the post, the instructions, everything. It's a very intensive project to do. But anyhow, I just want to say I appreciate it. I appreciate your hard work, and we will move on to genuine.
We've
vision.
got a Bashkai in the chat. Who's barely awake apparently.
Will you? Oh.
So we've got a genuine vision who once again doesn't love us.
Yeah,
I won't cry much, but let's just take a look at this little fella. And
it's
wow.
a lady, is it not? Actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ew. Little lady has crabs in her pants.
Ew.
Oh, I really like the way he's done the leather. It's so very sort of cartoony, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you think, Nero? What are your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure I saw somebody looking like that back in Bristol. Well, the teeth definitely look like British person, but yeah. No, I think it looks really good, and I don't know what scale is that, so, if it's like something like really small, like less than an inch size, or like about an inch, that's gonna be one. But if it's like bigger, it's like, different. But I think it is really good looking. The seaweed looks really cool. The barnacles and the pants.
Yeah.
Like, if the pants like the making straight lines or on like any type of like shape is hard by hand, so like it's always a good job. Like just straight line on a flat surface, sure. Maybe like a more or less even surface, yeah, possible. But like very with rather complex like shape like pants that is like on the body, that's like really.
Yeah, it is very difficult
to do.
Yeah.
But genuine vision is very
talented.
Aside from him being talented, this is something that he normally does. Like he normally does this level of quality for his painting.
I think the thing for me that was his biggest thing that I was like, I cannot believe this level of talent, is where he painted a tree to be an ash tree from scratch. Like he got this tree, and I thought it was like a branch from an ash tree.
Yeah, from a birch tree.
Was it a birch tree? Yeah. But yeah, I remember that one, and I'm like, okay, I have no talents. I am not the talents. All right, next up we've got Raven Tactica.
Yeah, with no words.
I do believe on the
Discord?
on the Discord he said that he's doing this up for the Witcher game, because I do believe that a lot of these models are the Witcher. So look, it is what it is. It's a work in progress, but look, he's doing something, and I think that's really important, because I mean, this is one of the problems, right? So you got to put the work in, otherwise nothing happens.
Well, I only have one tip for you, Raven. So your bard with the red shirt, you want to have a much darker red than that to start with your base, and work your way up to that red that you're using right now as your highest highlight.
Yep, and so Bashkai says, love those stripes and weathering, and Rumbleroo says, thanks Tomas, I have a project that may need this technique. Alright, shall we move on?
Yes, we shall. Oh yes.
I do believe some call him Tim.
Larry. Added color to the flame, base painted the shoes and toe, added some of the walnut to the staff.
Yep, but Tim. We actually have it all finished up
later on, yeah.
Yeah. Should we skip right to the finished up one? Because I don't think that there are other ones that are in between. I'll just double check to see if he's done any ones in between just quickly. But I don't think he has, so yeah, alright, let's skip to him being all finished up. So, I'll click the post so we can read it out. It's gonna load. Alright, here we go. Here we go, everyone. Tim is finished. Did the base and added some pigment to help tie things together, make the bottom of the robe look really dirty. Might be a bit overdone. I found a really nice way to do black. Alright, so let's take a look at Tim. Alright, Sunny, what do you think?
I think the face turned out quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's nothing much I would add when it comes to the model itself. I can tell that it is really, really puny. But, you know, he's brought out the details well enough. But I think the base could use a little something more.
So, I agree with the base, but for a different reason. So, there is a little bit of something there. Look, you know, you can add something, but, like, you see that little part of his circular disc is coming through.
Yes.
So, you just want to cover that up as much as possible, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we will see if we have any comments on him, and then we will move on. But yeah, like, I like it. I think one of the challenges is when it's a model like this, when it's very old, it's like you really, really have to push in order to get something looking great.
Yeah, because the fur turned out very nice. Like, it has quite a lot of detail. Sorry, Neuro, you were saying.
Just general old models are like, I find way harder to work with. Personally, like the old world Legendary for Hammer, I was like looking at it, trying my hands in a few of them, and I found it very hard because they don't have that much obvious details.
Some of the times, yes. It all depends on the model itself, though.
Bashkai's
super old, and
Larry says the old bases are a pain, lol, he says.
Yes, it's true. Well, he's not wrong. Alright, so...
I still think it looks really decent. And
oh, yeah, no, I think it looks really good.
It reminds me of, like, some character from, like, old or Roger Corman fantasy films.
It is! Monty Python! It's from Monty Python.
It's from Monty Python, The Life of Brian. No, not The Life of Brian.
Holy Grail?
Quest for the Holy Grail. Alright, next up we've got Chris. Would you like to read out?
Is the standard dark metal plate armor here too boring? Was thinking of glazing it with a purple or violet to give it some interest, but the model already has a decent amount of color, and the base will have a variety of colors too, with a red/yellow pigment mixed in the cracked rock.
Well, so for me, I really think go ham on the cape here, like you did before. Yeah. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the old school Archeon. Yeah, so I am correct in believing that this is the old school Archeon. Look, he's going to be a standout model in your army. He takes up 2 cavalry slots. Just go ham. Just go ham. Look, make him as ridiculous as possible, and it doesn't matter if he's sort of a bit of an oddball in the army, because he is the Archeon. He is the one. He is the dude.
He is the Abaddon.
He's what Abaddon wishes he was.
Yes, but I absolutely agree that, you know, the characters, the big name, or like the big somebody who looks like that, like basically any centerpiece, you kind of have a carte blanche to just go ham on it, because your eyes will be naturally drawn to like the biggest, the baddest, the coolest models. So you might as well just go all out and throw every single technique, you know, every single like show off
technique,
show off in every show off technique, and try to make it look as visually appealing as possible, with like as many details as you can muster and put into model.
You're right.
I agree.
Alright, so let us continue. So
yes, let us continue.
Yes.
Alright, so thus far, I I think that this one, like, we're not a nature photography channel, so we should just move on, right?
Yeah. You know what is next behind the pictures?
Yes, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Also, he is in the picture.
Where? Ah! Oh, sorry. I shouldn't scream. Sorry. Larry did the thing that he does where he hides the sneaky models in the pictures.
It's all right. None of us needed earballs.
Sorry.
It's all right. I don't have the damaged lobe ear
Sorry.
brain.
Because I always... He usually does this with all the other diorama pieces.
Do you want to read out his thing?
Okay. Adventure into fear. Into fear. Oh, it's for me.
Yes, he says that was for Sunny.
Adventure into fear with Man Thing. Finished Ted. Who's Ted? Oh, that's him. That's Ted. He named it Ted. Oh. Glued on a sheet of moss I made using tulle, Mod Podge, and fine grass flocking. Added a touch of Vallejo moss and lichen for some contrasting color. Then blacked the base. I'm not sure why this turned into such a project, but I loved every moment. Tried a lot of things I never had before, and it came out good, I think. Anyway, here he is, and don't be afraid. Whoever knows fear burns at the touch of Man Thing. Like the small fly that died because it's set on fire there. that was a small fly.
Rumble says, I had the sound on low, and then I came back to hear
Karl complaining he couldn't hear.
Yeah, just meep, yeah, meep, meep.
Man, that thing is cool.
I do like the way that he's done the moss, but I didn't have a good picture like this last time when he was introducing it.
Yeah.
So he's like, which one do you like better? And I'm like,
mossy toilet paper? Oh, okay.
Why you like this?
That's what he did, though. That's what he did. He used like toilet paper or tissue paper. He used the kitchen towel.
I'm sorry, Larry. I'm sorry.
Hey, Larry, that is what you used last time, right? Yes?
Good thing I have a drink on me.
The water effect on top of the base would not sand, so I just painted it black.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think if it won't sand, then I think what you have to do is grab out a knife. And, of course, cut your thumb as you're, cleaning it up. Because, I think it looks really great. I think we have appropriate background music for it.
What did you use for the water effect that it doesn't sand?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I wonder what doesn't sand. It's like
the resin could potentially sand rather easily.
Maybe we've figured out a way to solve certain problems. We'll just keep people imprisoned in resin water effects. If it won't sand, it won't break. But yeah, I like that he shows the various things that he uses and so on. I think that's really a cool thing. So this is the moss and lichen effect.
That is so... I never think that it was...
Talking about moss and lichen, we're going to have to throw away that little thing. So I cleaned up a little... like doohickey tower.
It's a 3-tier rack.
A 3-tier rack that Sunny got, and I cleaned it up.
You did say we needed to put it in the oven to kill the
spores, yeah.
Sporicides.
And
we
then,
never got around to doing that.
Yes, because nobody wanted to do that, and nobody cared.
That just didn't have time.
Yeah, that's another way of saying they don't care about me. I see. It's okay. I'm not being overly dramatic. It's just that nobody cares about me in this house.
Really?
Nothing's ever done.
I did things. I went shopping with you today. I did.
Yes, and who paid for the groceries? Me. That's right. Who paid for the art supplies?
I can pay for the art supplies too. You said don't touch it. You said don't touch.
Don't touch what?
The money. My wallet.
You can touch your money now. Alright, well, since we've been doing that, this meme has been up the whole time.
Okay.
Does your mother paint miniatures? Yeah. Hi, Janelle. Have you finished painting all of your miniatures? Now you have to say this.
Of course. I can't buy more until they're all painted.
Your foster parents are dead. Alright. So moving on to Lance. Now he did this with like cotton bud, like sort of Q-tip sort of things. And see, I think that he's really onto a winner. Like
look at that.
I think it looks really cool. I just think if like you cut away some of the stray fibers like over here, I think like this front angle looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You can really see the spiral of it.
It feels like a true magic effect, and like I like how it's not fully controlled.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that looks so cool. Do you think just the one shrub is a bit much? I think, you know, basing has never been Lance's strong point, but I think one of the things is...
I think it needed a little bit of distribution.
Yeah, and I think the sand going over the rim is not a good look.
Yeah.
But, like, beyond that, I really like this model. I like everything about it. I like the nice white undercoat. I like the purple. Also, the yellow's going with the yellow. I think that's good, but I just feel this is a bit much.
Yeah. And, of course, I think, Lance, the next thing we want to work on is really tightening up the base. Like, doing a black rim will really...
He usually does round.
Yeah, he usually done brown.
Brown or, like, a cream colour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, should we move on? Oh, sorry, you wanted to say something, Neuro?
I always like when people like do the special magical effect by like using like non-standard like materials of things like that causes or whatever you use for magical effects. Cool. Like I like those things, and whether done I just never use it because I think it's good for display pieces, not for like game pieces, just because I'm like, no, it's gonna break. It's gonna. You just take the miniature in the wrong way and it's ruined forever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like my only thing, but personal stemming from like all my pieces are game pieces. So, but if you take care of this one and never hold it in the wrong way, I think it's gonna look cool and you can show it off to people.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be too much of a problem, though, with the way that it is, the position at which it is in.
Alright, well, let us move on. And now I have to talk. It's time for me to do the talkie talk.
Apparently.
It's Member Monday. # Member Monday. Every Monday we stop to reflect on what actually makes this place work. And it's not some fancy algorithm or hobby trend. It's you. Every post you share, every comment you leave, every time you hit that like button, you're building something here. Not just a gallery of miniatures, but a space where people feel seen, supported, and inspired. So let's keep it growing. Please give a warm WAYPN welcome to our newest member, Jin.
Jin is not new.
Jin? What do you mean Jin is not new?
Jin's been here.
That it says that he's new.
Well,
when I did the thing, it said that Jin was new.
Jin must have gotten kicked out because Jin is not new. Jin's been on our WAYPN for quite a long time.
Are you sure Jin?
Yeah, I remember Jin.
No, don't do it on the stream. That's where everything goes wrong. All right. You sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. I recognize that name. Facebook must have kicked them out.
What is happening?
You know, sometimes people get kicked out of the groups, but we didn't do anything. They just get. You've had that before, honey, where you have member Mondays where you have repeat people that were already members.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah.
Well, here's Tomas.
We haven't seen him in a while. See, I think it's actually her, actually.
Hello, Tomas.
Tomas!
Hello, Penguin.
Hello, Penguin.
I'm sad, everyone.
It's okay. You did not know, honey.
What happened?
Icon bearer done. For tabletop should be fine, but I definitely have to get some better idea for eyes in those helmets. What's wrong with them?
I think it's got the same problem that you had with the glowing eyes from last time when you did glowing eyes, guys.
What are you talking about?
With the glowing eyes, guys, with the blade guard.
Did you do glowing eyes with the blade guard?
Well, with somebody, and then you got sad. Now I'm sad.
It's okay. Sometimes Facebook kicks people out. It's not your fault.
I'm bad dad.
Mm.
I thought I wrote a nice
You
post.
did, and it's still relevant.
Sad dad.
Insurance got me so made I forgot to post my work for this week.
Mad.
I see. Can't ever trust insurance.
Oh, you're having problems with insurance right now, aren't you? Actually, we know a few people who are having problems with insurance right now, but if we talked about that, that would only cause even more problems.
Yes. I think it looks good. Yeah, I know the eyes are a bit...
Dad.
I think the eyes are a little bit problematic. I don't know what's happening there.
I think that the staff circle-y thing is insane.
I really like the staff circle-y thing.
It's crazy.
I like the stripes.
That's literal madness.
I like the metal is very clean. I see that he's tried to do a bit of like a scratched up metal thing at the top of the knee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not so sure. I feel like it's a bit too stark with this effect.
No, I like it. But it's alright. I'm not your real Facebook dad.
Honey, can you please stop? Please.
You tore a hole in my shirt.
You tore this hole in this shirt. This shirt had a hole.
Why you shame me?
Let's
move on to the next person.
James.
It's James. James, I'm sorry for being a bad Facebook dad to you.
Kill team update. Got a little cleanup to do, but the camo bit are done. If I want to add more brown areas, I can easily add them later. The brown and grey camo is what helps distinguish the models between the normal Cadian troopers and the Kasrkin elite troopers. If you think any of the white lines are too thick fixing, that is what I mean with cleanup work to do. Next, finally going to tackle the unpainted areas. Really enjoying my new LED lamp so much more light than before. Want to show it off once I clean up the place. Oh yeah! Well, I think he's coming along looking quite nice. You've done really well with the white lines with the red inside. Oh, you've got a pole. Honey, what have you done? What have you done with this pole? 3 a.m. Cal is best Cal. Penguin seems to be obsessed with you at 3 a.m. Can we get a sad 3 a.m. Cal? That's what Larry is saying.
No.
This is no fun, guys. Why do you do this?
We didn't come here to have fun.
Why everyone?
Why are you laughing? Be sad.
Yes. Everyone insists on Struggle Cast 2017, apparently.
It's because we want to live in the glorious days of the prices of 2017.
My waffles.
I remember when I could afford ramen noodles.
I remember when my waffles was not.
We need to get ramen noodles so you can make wife soup.
I think we have noodles, do we not?
Yeah, but we need the. Oh, I'm not sure if we have the noodles.
I think we do. I'll have to check.
Can you make wife soup?
Yeah, I can make wife soup.
Wife soup is just instant ramen noodles with other things added.
Yes.
I want some wife soup.
We'll figure it out.
Well, James, I think, like, when we had our chat, yes, like, they do look a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. Once you get that extra lighting is really one of the things that changes how things look. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Alright, should we move on?
We shall.
Alright, so now it's back to sad Facebook dad. Should I do my downward camera shots like this?
What?
Like that's how I got to look into the camera.
No.
You know the divorced dad classic shot. You know where they're looking into the camera. They look directly into the camera, like top down
to show the double chin and everything.
Yeah, and you got to look down and look somber. It's just
this
like
is how I feel.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time. It's time to read. It's time to read.
Looks like I won't have much time this week, but I hope at least I'll be able to finish those guys. Hazard Stripes really nice. Within Hazard Stripes without. That's funny, Tomas.
I really like the.
I like the V Hazard Stripe on the shin. Oh yeah.
No, I don't think that's the best one. I think the best one is right here, where the hazard stripe fades off.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously been painted on, and, like, it's been scratched off through use and such.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, looks so nice.
I've painted Space Marines before, and I can't imagine...
A lot of higher hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I always appreciate people giving love to the 4th Legion, considering the 4th Legion that never gave them one.
Yeah.
I appreciate people actually struggling to make the best looking hazard stripes.
Or are they? Vsauce here. But no, I really like how these guys have turned out. But it is such the Iron Warrior's curse that I'm like, that, like, you still need some contrast or something, because, like, I look at these and, like, the hazard stripes contrast really nicely. I think he's done really well with this guy, but, like, you just need something. Maybe, like, these tabards being red or something. You know, just something to make them pop a bit more. Who's this? It's Talk Tuesday! And we talked about how to do red. And I do believe there was... even though RJ is an R, but I can't say Raging RJ, because I was like...
Raging RJ.
He's raging for red, you know, like, I wanted to sort of... You know,
raging. Yeah,
you know?
Yes, I can see that you did a
yes. But anyway, if you want to learn how to do red, watch the episode. But we've got an episode coming up which will be a lot more condensed. Alright, next up, it's Talk Tuesday, and you're dinging me, Facebook. Why? Why do you ding me? Why are you like this?
People care about you.
No one cares. No one cares.
Care.
Well, let's see. Let's see if people care. Which Cal do they like? They like sad Cal,
like
or
3
insane
Cal. already won. Okay.
Yeah, insane Cal, the one who's lost his mind.
Where's the poll? Can I participate? Ooh. No, I cannot.
Yes, because you're not allowed.
I'm not.
Because I banned you.
Oh, I see.
All right. It's Talk Tuesday. Hashtag Talk Tuesday. Tuesday is where I talk to people and make sure they're going all right with their projects, because everybody stumbles now and then, and it's nice to have somebody to check up on your progress. Want a hobby buddy? Leave a comment in this post saying that you would like to be included on Talk Tuesday, and simple as that. All right, let's see how everybody's been doing. And I'm not going to go through all of them individually. Instead, we're going to look at a oddly placed LED lamp. It almost seems as if they want them to see this certain game
Oh, yes.
I'm just throwing that out there, that it might be focused around a certain game.
Oh, yes.
But also, this is so neat and tidy.
I know.
You know, I don't know why, but I should have expected this from James. But I mean, like, look how nice and neat and tidy everything is here. It's so nice and neat and tidy.
Very nice.
Nice and tidy.
Nice and tidy.
Because it's my cousin.
Head, shoulder, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Yeah. It's way tidier than my workspace.
Well, don't worry. Sonny,
Yeah.
I cleaned my table a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
I will have to go and inspect.
I put the 3D bits away into the 3D bit box.
Very good, honey. Very good.
See, that's how terrible my place is, because she's like, oh, yes, you did something.
Honey, you're not very good at the cleaning of
No, I'm not.
But...
So, demands were made and demands were met. And challenges happened. So, no, you gotta go up. You gotta read the words.
Joseph! Henry wanted pics of me playing my solo game with my painted models. Not very exciting pics, I'm afraid. But this is what Aeon Trespass Odyssey looks like. Here I am about to take on the Demi-Djinn, who just leveled up enough that I'm no longer allowed to try and avoid attacks or mitigate damage. So every attack lands automatically and always does full damage. Armor? What's that? Scary stuff. You can also see the world map in the second room, where the Dahaka,
Dahaka?
I think, I don't know, is chasing my
ship. Isn't that in Prince of Persia?
Yeah, chasing my ship across Persia. Look at this game. It's taken over 2 rooms, 3 work surfaces.
I like this picture, just, here, look at some tiles.
Didn't he do those tiles himself or something?
I do believe he did.
Yeah, very long message.
Yeah, you can read.
Look at this game. It's taken over 2 rooms, 3 work surfaces, and I've had to extend my desk by a further 3 foot to make everything fit. It is ridiculous. Finally, you can see a pic of what I've really been painting. Well, staining and varnishing technically this week with my size 2 brush. My hallway and kitchen terracotta tile floor. Final coat is on, but wants 2 more days to fully dry and seal.
You know, I'm just going to put it out there. You want a bit bigger than the size 2 brush for the hallway. Consider maybe like a couple of inch brush.
Yeah, that sounds
rather than
like
size
a roller paint brush.
Right, yeah,
roller paint.
Yeah.
Size 2 seems a bit much for your tile
it does.
floor, yeah.
Like, that's more something that you'd use for the grout.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now that we've gotten that done, but before I do go on, the reason why I asked for pictures of this is because Joseph puts so much work into completing all of his sets, and isn't it so much nicer to see the game with all of the models done up and all of the things in this way? It's just really nice to have that little bit extra, you know. I think that's really important. I think that really helps. Like, this is your goal. This is what you're aiming for. But, you know, you've got to enjoy the journey along the way. And this is what it's about. It's not about like that fancy Instagram money shot. It's about this.
It's about the game.
No, it's a game, not a game.
The game.
You and your slurs. I'm just going to move on. Alright, so next up... somebody else has to read this one out, not me.
Here is a whip. Hashtag Whip Wednesday. A model to show the different ways you can shade and highlight red for our upcoming video, Understanding Red. I gotta say, Chimera, the red is really the way to go. And if you guys are free, please join us on our Whip Wednesday morning stream. We will be streaming again later tonight as well. And
I think it came up really well.
Yeah.
But I think we should move on because we see this in various stages of decay until its final form.
Ah. Next.
Alright, speaking of stages of decay, I'm sorry, my dude, it's a man. Like, usually I can't comment on these ones. He said he worked on it for 4 days, but it's a man.
I guess it does kind of look like a dude.
Like, Sunny is the master of commentary of such things, and I'll let her do the commentary, but this... Look, if a lady like this is asking you out, just be aware.
My favorite part really is the snakes. I think you did so well with the snakes. The perspective of the snakes came out really well. Like, it's so well done that I don't even focus on the face. Like, all my attention has gone to the snake.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the color choice with the snakes. Very nice and vibrant. And then you've got the shading with the analogous shading where you've got the blue tone shadows, green, and then yellow tone highlights. I think that turned out really well. But the face does look a bit munted, I'm sorry to say.
It's a man.
But I think the way that you've...
Bill Nye?
Bill Nye?
Oh my god.
Well,
all I know is that I can hear the song playing in the background.
Yeah.
Dude looks like a lady.
Okay.
Alright, let us move on.
Oh, I especially like...
I actually really think this is cool. So
really
this is
stuff.
what it's sort of based off?
Yeah. And, like, you know, the messaging's really powerful here with the statue, the actual reference. It tells me, like...
So I just want to give context. The reason why he was very sort of wary is because he put up a post one time which was about a Filipino group that sought to like show...
It's a freedom fighters.
Yeah. And I was like, that's very political. And he's like, I hope this isn't political. And it's okay, you know, you're just making art. But, like, just so long as it's not, like, a political post or that sort of thing.
I thought this was really good. Like, I think this is, like...
It's...
Like, you know, Justice, the band.
Oh, yeah, it does feel
This
very
is
like
so
Justice, the
perfect.
band, doesn't it?
Perfect for their, like, an album cover for them. Like, I
I
really love the way that you've done... I think this impressionistic style is really fitting for this concept.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Well, beyond very well done, is there anything else that you'd like to add about it?
I just like the way that he's done the brush strokes here.
Is this where, am I doing it right? Is this where?
Yeah, like the side, the hand, like everything sort of fades in and out.
Yep.
I'm sorry to use this as the reference, but I personally find this example quite beautiful when I see it happening. Is when AI starts to show you as it's developing the image.
Right.
It looks like that. You know, like it's sort of fading in and out of reality. That's very nice, I think.
So, next up, I do believe... we've got Angela.
After I harassed her for more posts, she has posted something.
I see. So, all I have to do is send Sunny out to harass people.
Yes. I feel like...
It's so nice.
I know, it's such a lovely little elephant. It's so clean.
It is very clean.
I feel like I always forget to post progress photos, but this case was a quick turnaround. Painted this guy for the DM Stash Anniversary Contest. Literally got the mini in on Monday and finished him this morning. Using mostly Procreate paints, trying to challenge myself with more small things with tiny details. Not going to change anything at this point, but any tips are appreciated.
You know, if he didn't have the goggles, I think that he could be like a little statuette of Ganesha.
Yeah. When I saw this, I was just like, oh, a little Ganesha. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Nice.
He's just there, you know, like, let me play you a tune.
Yes. But he needs his ladoos. He doesn't have any ladoo.
Ah, yes. Ladoo is too sweet. You do not want to eat it, okay?
Well,
just so you know.
To be fair, all Indian desserts
all
are
Indian.
too sweet.
I do not understand how not every single Indian has diabetes.
They do.
Because holy cow,
Have you not seen all of the Indian stereotypical diseases? Heart attack, hypertension, or diabetes.
They need to stop drinking. That's what they need to stop doing.
Okay, that's fair too. Anyway, this is such a very lovely model. I see that there's a very lovely pattern on his teal, like his turquoise.
I think all of it looks really nice.
Yeah, like, I wonder if
it's so well sculpted. Like the DM stash has done really well.
Oh,
I wonder if it's a mesh mix. If it's a mesh mix, we could delete those goggles potentially if it is a mesh mix, and like paint it up and put it on the altar.
Maybe.
All right. Well, next up we have. It's a Larry.
A Larry. Some random work last night trying to clear out what's on the table, so I have room to finish Gazcool and to do the Dracula's Castle terrain set. One, wasn't keen on the white I started with. I had planned to start bright and shade down, so I redid them in grey, and I'll just work up like usual. Not too concerned how these turned out, as they are testing or proof pieces. Somehow I ended up with 6 of these guys. When I do the rest of the bikers, I'm doing sub-assemblies because these are a pain. 2, I had previously stripped this as far as it would go. The very old paint I'd use was not behaving, so I finally primed it again. I'm still wanting something like a navy metallic color on it, like I tried to do before. Though about the Atom paint, blue.
Well, I think we're going to move on from this one because we see more stuff done later. All right.
Fair enough.
So next up, we have Spidey.
Yeah, calling this one done too. Did some touch-up work to correct some sloppiness on the scenery, then blacked the base. Spidey turned out really well, I think, but the rest is pretty mediocre. Ah well, practice is practice, lessons learned, etc. Still, I really like this piece for the little action scene, and I'm happy with Spider-Man regardless of the base.
And
Rumble McLarrier.
And just so Penguin knows, it's not an upscaled Timberwolf. It's a downscaled Lumberwolf.
Very funny, honey.
Alright, but yeah, so on that, I think that the rope could have been done in a bit more grey and white, because there's like no depth with it. You know what I'm saying with the thing there?
Perhaps a wash of
Soulblight Grey Blood.
Yeah.
Is it grey?
Grey, just grey.
Oh, okay, Soulblight Grey. Alright, but the only thing that I think is really bad with the rest of it is like maybe giving a dry brush of metal to this and making this sign a bit more gold.
Oh.
Because this is meant to be the Daily Bugle, right? And that's their sort of radio tower sign. And it's, it just, like, that's the only thing that I think is bad. I think that, like, the explosion looks decent. I think it's a very hard sort of thing to work with. And I bet that there's, like, somebody out there who's done, maybe. So Rumble says,
Apothecary White can work, but it's very finicky.
Yeah, it is not your friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I look at it, Spidey's great. The explosion I think is good. I like the object source lighting coming from the explosion. Yeah.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, like
very clean, very well.
Only the webs, that's my only complaint, and of course doing this up in gold.
Yeah.
I think
and the satellite dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so Larry has done We've
done Tim is finished, we've covered Tim.
Okay, yes, we've covered Tim.
And we got Trenchy! Navi Dion.
Things have disappeared on me. What is happened? Okay. Is this?
Let it happen.
I don't know where I am. I don't know what's happening.
To be on the trench.
We're meant to be on the trench. Okay, so there's
that's very far off, yeah.
Okay.
So is there like a whole lot of posts that got disappeared?
Yeah, there were a whole lot of posts that got disappeared. I was like, oh, we're ending so soon. Okay, all right. That's okay.
You thought wrong, son.
You're wrong. You were wrong. Riri Williams.
Hey there, WAYPN. I realize it's been months since I last posted here. A lot of things happened, and along the way, I finally found a reliable guide to print some Trench Crusade minis for me. So I got a bunch of stuff painted from New Antioch and Heretic Legions. Safe to say, I'm enjoying the sculpt so far. Hopefully, with my schedule cleared up, I'll be able to paint more of them. But for now, here's some of the finished models. I forgot to take pictures of when I based the other minis, but I did, don't worry. I also added some notes on some of the individual photos. It'll make the post too long if I wrote them here instead. Lol, how about you guys? Anybody fancy some Trench Crusade?
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So this seems to be like a what do you call it? A Joe R. Sutton adventure. So first off, he's talking about the lens with the eye. And it does look as if you guys got some layer lines here. So, you know, like, just make sure that this guy isn't charging you too much. Because those are some pretty intense layer lines right along there. Unless that's meant to be a belt or something.
No, layer line.
Definitely layer lines? Yeah, because
you'll see it on the cape.
Alright, but yeah, so I think I really like the way you've done the camera. I think that looks very cool. I like that. Just gonna take a look.
I just found this model super interesting because of
the head.
The head, the juxtaposition of the
head.
Yeah,
it does look very odd. It does look very sort of deep sea diver, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think camera looks good. I like your color here. I think this is one of the best of them.
I really like the cape.
Yeah, nice analogous colors here. Like he's pushing into the oranges, but we talk about that in an upcoming video. This I felt was the weakest of all of your models. The face here just doesn't have a lot going on. I just feel like this is the weakest of them. But like this guy, I like the colors with this. I really like the way that the leather's done. It like feels quite like leather.
Yeah.
I think that the uniform is a nice color also. It feels like a real uniform. Yeah, and then this guy I really like. I like the way that he's done all of this sort of rust and gore effects on him. And like it just feels like such a cool looking dude.
Yeah.
And I think the way that he's done the
non-metallic metal
that's come up so really nice. Like I think here is where it looks the weakest. I think here, like with the moment that you're not like an eyeball's length away from it, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think really
the way
well
he's
done
the armor looks like a completely different material. It doesn't even look like a plastic model.
Yeah. Well, resin in this case.
Oh,
but
resin,
yes. I agree. But yeah, like I think is probably one of your best. I like the way that you've added the texture to all of this. I also like the face. I think the face looks great. I
love he really pushed the sort of redness in the cheeks and everything. It looks almost like he's got a rash on his face, or like it's just artistic expression. But it doesn't matter. I think it looks good.
Yeah, no, I think it doesn't just look good. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Alright, so then he's got one more guy after that. I think it's just one. Yeah. So I think this guy, his textures look great and such, right? But I feel like his beard isn't as good as your previous one.
Yeah, like the contrast is a lot more clearer.
See, this beard is just absolutely fantastic. I just absolutely love it. And this one, I'm not saying this one's bad. It's just, it doesn't have that same level of intensity that this one does.
Yeah.
And in part, I can see that that's kind of the sculpt, because you can see it's not quite as full.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Alright, so next up, is it you? It is you. You're going to have to read.
Oh, I gotta read.
Yeah, you got to read,
I'm gonna say sorry, I'm gonna leave now.
That's
okay,
alright, my dude.
Thank you for joining as
you
long
have a
as
good
you
one.
did.
Yeah,
So,
good luck.
Okay, hashtag Throwback Thursday. Here's what we did on stream today. It's been really productive, and boy, after Henry filled in those layer line gaps, Red Lady is looking much better. All that's left is the basing, and for our actual throwback post, we made progress on our Teikoku Steelmania army, blocking in colors and using more cheats. It's been tough switching our mindset to tabletop mode, but I think we are doing well with batch painting. Oh, and plus a Bushido model that's not been touched in a while.
which does feel very Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
I really like the way that the leathers come up on this, though. Like, despite the fact that, like, he will just be a dude.
Yeah.
You know? I think...
But again, I think that's just our mindset of always sort of working in character mode.
Yeah, maybe.
Very used to
but
seeing things a certain way.
I think also it's just the way I'm very happy with the way I've done up the leathers here.
Yeah.
It does feel like this feels far more fantastical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, alright. Well,
and we use a color shift paint for these guys' armor.
I think what I might end up doing is put some tissue over the top of this, and maybe some PVA over the top of the tissue.
To smooth it out.
Yeah, because at the moment it's so rough.
It is so very rough. It does look like he's cleaning his sword with a hessian sack.
Yeah.
Which I have one right here. Hessian sack.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to how all these guys turn out.
Yeah.
Alright, next up, after
We've got more from John.
Yeah.
Work in progress historical figure, General Antonio Luna, Philippine general during the Malolos Republic or First Republic during the Philippine-American War. Well, it's a whip and it's coming along pretty nicely. I do find it quite interesting the way that he's done the... I'm not sure if this is considered undershading for the way that he's done it. It's like a lot of stroke lines. That's normally not how we do it. So I'm quite interested to see how he comes together.
All right. Well, let us move on.
And
it's more to... Oh, it's Andy? Have I... Yes, I have mixed things up.
Spent a bit of time this evening painting the operators from Fallout faction. Still a work in progress. Spent time applying base coats and initial washes. Next step is to go back and re-highlight items, etc. Also trying to do a non-Caucasian skin tone with some of them. Not something I'm familiar with, so still learning, but I hope it's not too bad.
So, if you're looking for non-Caucasus ones, or non-Anglo ones, what?
Non-Caucasus.
That's the region, the Caucasus.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, if you're looking for that, just essentially a lot of the time you just do your standard Anglo skin tone and then you make it redder. Like that's one of the ways you really get it going. Or you just do your standard Anglo one and then you just push it into the brown. I really like how these guys are. They're so bizarre. Like the sort of mix of things that they have.
Yeah, like this guy's wearing a suit.
And like he's got a spike and a pistol. And this guy over here's like got bandoliers and everything else, and it's just such a weird outfit.
Yeah.
And then where's that other lady? There's a lady. Yeah, she's like in a suit top and like a button dress. And she's got like a wrench and a sawn off, I think. Yeah, it's very bizarre. Very interesting models.
Yeah.
So then next up we have Tomas, and
Tomas
he hasn't been getting enough done, as he said. Oh, look, they're looking more colourful now.
Oh yeah.
Because he's added some red to this, and he's also added some blue to the blacks.
I really like the eyes. They really pop. Like, they really go...
Do you want to read out what he says?
I was so determined to finish them to the point that when I was back home at 11 p.m., I sat down to workbench and didn't stand up until they were done. And here they are. I think I finally found the method for eyes in those helmets. It turned out I must slop even more white paint into them before painting them red and orange. Sometimes brute force works best. Also, I didn't want the pouches to be leather again, so I tried to achieve textile look like modern military equipment. It works fine live, but for some reasons looks flat on photos. Maybe I should go for more contrast. We'll see.
I think
come up with something.
I think that instead of doing blacks, try leather browns, like light leather browns instead of blacks. And like I think that will give you some good contrast, because you don't have a lot of room for light colors on them as it stands. And I think like you're in real danger of it just being a sort of grayish blob from a distance. It's those yellows and the brightness of the eyes and like the symbol on the chaos thing that really helps pull them out. Gives them that value difference, as well as the brightness on the chain swords.
Yeah.
And like I think that you're doing really well, but yeah, I
it does feel very flavorful to me, though.
Oh, it is amazingly flavorful, but I'm not sure how to articulate this, but I think it's just the Iron Warrior scheme doesn't give you a lot of room to...
can be very blobby looking from afar.
Well, it's just like you don't have a lot of color, you don't have, a lot of anything to work with.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have another Larry. Oh, no,
Chris.
It's Chris. Where is Chris? Did Chris?
Yeah, that's the post.
Okay.
One of my favorite models ever, and was a blast to paint too. Tried out a bunch of wet blending on the turquoise sections, as well as more targeted oil washing.
So, I think that it's been brightened a lot, and I think that looks really good. But I think you can really push the cape. Like, still, he's brightened it, but the way he was doing that synthwave before?
Yeah.
I think that would look great on him.
Yes.
Just to have something else to stand out with him.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying that anything that you've done is bad. It's that whole meme, things are good, but they could be better. And like, yeah, it's just, I feel that you have that in you. And I think that's really important, because you want to do that push for these types of characters. But I think you've done great, Chris. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really like it. I especially love the lava sword. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. I think the blue has, well, I shouldn't say blue, cyan.
Yeah.
The cyan has such a contrast against everything else that it just pulls the eye. Do you have commentary on it? Because I've been talking a lot.
I do feel that the color choice wise, the cyan is not exactly suitable for Archeon.
Oh, but that's his army. His army is like all
I
cyan.
know. It's just my commentary. But yeah, I think the synthwave look for the cape will really fix that. I think because it's a very friendly color scheme. A bit.
Well, we'll see how things go in the near future. All right. So next up, we've got Larry.
Having trouble with greys and near whites. Thin them, but they dry like they're unthinned, even if it goes on very wet. Maybe it's humidity or something. I don't know. Other colors are working fine. Gave up, airbrushed with Atom Cold Grey. Looks rough because that's what it's going over. Highlight with Trooper White, then Titanium White. Touched up blacks with Mars Black. Still need to do some shading on the white, so it's not done yet. Might strip them and start over. Probably not. See where this goes.
So I think it's just white. White's a problem. White's the problem color. You know, like, don't give yourself too much of a hard time. It is just a problem, right? You don't try and give yourself a hard time for something that's not working, that is notorious for not working. And then it's me. I'm you. I have to read out.
Yeah.
All right. What? It's finally finished. I did some basing, and just before the review, impossible. All right, so this was inspired by a Japanese garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a picture of a Japanese garden. This garden, not that type of garden, the other type of garden, and They often have this sort of like crushed gravel in them, and of course bamboo, you know, classic. And I think it looks really nice. And I just did my classic jungle basing, except instead of adding all of the accoutrements, I just left it.
Yeah.
I also glued a skull in because Warhammer.
I think it's a nice placement where you put the skull. It's sort of like she's distracting everyone away from what she's done.
I guess.
Because, like, look at how she's so, you know, frilly and loud, and she's, even her pose is loud. And then you've got, like, oh, by the way, this person I killed, it's back there.
Alright, I will open this. I'll open this up in a new tab, and we'll take a look. So my goal was to sort of create that sort of crushed look.
I think it does look like that, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because like that was my goal, to have something like that. I don't know whether it matches that at all, but yeah, so like I'm gonna go back to this sort of thing. Like, so what do you guys think? I'll throw it to the commenters, and if you are, and if you can, we are on the Discord. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think the
gold really shines through, like, no matter how I turn it, right? I think the way that you do true metallic metals, it always shows up so well on camera. It just pops.
Yeah, so I'm seeing if I can find another. See, like, it's really hard to get that level of detail that they've got here. So I didn't want to do this, which is like the little patterns.
Zen garden, yeah.
Like, maybe once I get more brave, I'll get Sunny to do it. You know, you nod as if like that, like that's not the joke. Once I get more brave, I'll get Sunny to do it.
Yes, I see the joke, honey.
I see. The joke is me. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. I think Sunny's reds came up fantastic. I think the way Sunny did the skin is absolutely fantastic. And look, if you're a guy who paints, consider painting with your missus, because this was really fun to do together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we feel like we've made something really nice together, don't we?
Yes. And it's quite lovely, because I've always hated the way Raging Heroes models print.
Yes.
And the way that they're very finicky, and for us to actually make one of their models work.
Yeah.
I feel proud of it.
And that's another thing, guys. The reason why I think this is particularly good is because of the bamboo, because it's actually a feature in of itself, because you can hold that instead of the model, because it's a steel beam inside it.
Oh, you've got a steel beam inside that?
Yeah, no, that's how they're built. They're like a little steel rod.
Oh, really?
Yep, with a plastic outside.
Oh.
And then the leaves attached to it.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just pure plastic tubes.
Yeah, no, it's a plastic tube with a metal rod on the inside. But they are very gaudy when you first get them. They're quite sort of over the top.
I see.
So I had to paint them all up. And that's a mix of RAF green, RAF camo green, and dark green by SMS, and then I mixed dark green and lime green to get that very nice brighter green for some of the top areas, because I wanted it to, I feel like some of it's come through a lot in some areas. I don't know.
I think it's a good blend. Like you can see the very nice sort of lime green come through on top of the more sort of deeper greens, and it looks very accurate to how bamboo might look.
Yeah,
I would say.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have an absolutely fantastic week, and keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Now we have to talk for a minute.
Oh, we've got to talk for a minute so that keep those brushes wet comes through.
So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.